so much, Lynn. And a special thank you to Gertrude, who called me last night and out of the blue said, "Hey, can you speak for us?" And I was so honored that I gave her a wholehearted yes. And I just so, yeah, you got to seize the moment, carpe diem, seize the moment. Uh, there's a word that says time and opportunity happens for all of us. And when you're ready for the opportunity, you just step into it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. I think Carolyn said it best. You just have to say yes. Life will give you opportunities that you don't think you're ready for. But the moment you say yes to it, you really find out what's on the inside of you. So thank you, Gertrude, for following the divine order of life and picking up that phone. And at the right time, I took that call. My name is Kim Scott. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the United States of America. It's so great to be with women from all over the world. My sisters from Zambia and Carolyn, I think you said you were in Bali, but you're back in Australia. And so many of you guys in New Zealand. I am honored to be on this platform. I consider this a divine opportunity to share my story. And I want to celebrate the women that I invited and the men, because my husband came on too. He's one of my greatest cheerleaders that I invited to come onto this platform, and they're here. They are also, many of them have a gift to share, just like I do. I believe in raising up women to share their life's story, their gifts, their callings, their anointing, their purpose. We all have one, and the world needs what you are carrying. So I'm Kim Scott, life coach, wife, mother, grandmother, pastor, teacher, marathon runner, author. If God challenges me to do it and I know he's backing me, I'm game. And I think a lot of you are the same way, just hearing your stories. When the opportunity comes, you say yes to it. And even if you fall, you get back up again because you know the fall isn't the finish, it's just part of the story. Today, as I thought about what can I share with these women, I know that I have 15 minutes and I want to make those 15 minutes impactful because I just don't want to talk to hear myself talk. I want to impart, get to the place of impartation. Many of us hear lots of great words. You're going to hear even more after I'm done speaking. You're going to hear some speakers that have some incredible life stories that you'll be able to relate to. And you'll get motivated. But unless the motivation is utilized, it was just great words. So as I thought about what is the one thing, if I could teach one thing in life, what would that one thing be? If I could leave one thing with you today, what would that one thing be? And for me, that one thing is everything. The one thing that I want to share with you is the power of believing, the power of believing in yourself, the power of believing that you have a divine purpose, and you as you begin to say yes to it will get all the resources and the right people that you need to live out your divine purpose. But in order to do that, you have to have faith. That's what faith is. Faith is the power to believe. You can hear lots of words that will motivate you and encourage you and inspire you, but until that motivation become a revelation, it will just be good words. And what I mean when I say revelation, revelation is the internalization of a word that becomes your internal reality. All the motivation in the world will excite you, but it will not take you the distance that you need to go unless that motivation is internalized and it becomes your revelation. Revelation is intimate knowledge. It's that knowledge that comes from truly knowing. Confidence is born out of revelation. So more than motivation, we've got to have the revelation that this is for me, and here it is. I can do it. Once your motivation becomes revelation, that revelation is going to keep you on the path that you need to stay on in order to see fulfillment. That revelation will also move you in a direction that will cause you to live out fulfillment and your life's purpose. It's got to be more than just a motivation. You hear motivation every day. Most of us, we get in the car and we'll turn on something that inspires us. We'll get our favorite motivational speaker, our favorite preacher, our favorite life coach, and we'll put them on and we'll get excited and we'll start going. But something happens in the process where our going slows down, and it gets slower and slower until a point where you find yourself where you have stopped. Because the motivation will only take you so far unless it's internalized. And once it's internalized, that's what revelation is. That revelation will then lead you to a place where you can start to apply the principles that you need to apply so you can live in a place called fulfillment. When fulfillment is attained, a joy springs up that gives you passion and zeal. And I think that's one of the key ingredients for us to have continual long-term success, is being zealous about something, to have the passion to do it. Because passion is, I love this, I'm created for this, and I'm going to finish the course of what I started. That's what passion is. We need passion in order to truly pursue purpose. There's a word that says, when desires are withheld, the heart will start to faint. But when those desires are fulfilled, it becomes a tree of life. See, we were created to give life, not just to live, but to give life. So when your motivation is internalized, it becomes revelation. When that revelation is utilized, it then becomes impartation. And impartation is you having the ability to give somebody else that which you have cultivated in your life, and it's passing on the gift of life. We are trees of life that can release healing in life, that can release the strength that people need to carry on with life. But in order to do that, we've got to have the revelation of who we are. If you don't know who you are, this is a good time to discover her, to meet the girl that you were always meant to be. I had an encounter that I want to share that I believe is part of my story and will be your story as you receive it. Several years ago, I was on an airplane going to a speaking engagement in Chicago. I was empty. I had given all that I had to life. I had poured out more than I thought I'd received back. And I was not only empty, I was angry because I felt like I had not gotten what I thought I should have. And I'm on a way to a conference to preach, and I know that I'm in no condition emotionally, mentally, nor spiritually to speak to anyone. And I said, as I'm sitting on this airplane, I wanted to talk to my friend. She had fallen asleep. And I said, I am empty. I have nothing to give. And I don't want to go and be fake and phony. I want to live authentically. And I don't want to share something with people that I myself am not willing to do. And then I heard the still small voice, that still small voice that's in all of us, that said, the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling is because you don't know who you really are. And I thought, I don't know who I really am. Yes, I am. I'm a marathon runner. I'm an author. I can teach. I can do all of this stuff. I was talking about the woman that once was. And this still small voice said, you're believing who you used to be and not who you are going to be. See, what I discovered in that moment was there's a part of me that I had not met yet. There was a woman in me that was alive and lively and bigger than life, but I had not tapped into her because I was living at status quo, living at the place of just enough. And there was a territory for me called more than enough, but I had tapped into it because I had settled for just enough. And when I finally decided on that airplane, 30,000 feet above sea level, I got a revelation, internal knowledge about who I was. And when I got to my hotel, I pushed the bed aside. I drew a circle in the middle of the room. I got in that circle and I said, okay, now it's time for me to know my truth. And that still small voice said, I want to introduce you to the woman that I know, the woman that is futuristic, the Kim that you have not met yet. But if you give her an opportunity, if you introduce yourself to her and give her an opportunity, you will become her. So in what I call my circle of truth, I still have my circle of truth, because sometimes I just need to affirm that even though I don't have it, I still have the ability to get it. So I got to meet the future. I got to meet the me that is courageous. I got me that is zealous, that is energized, that is powerful, that is wonderful, the me without creation of me, the me without criticism of me, the me in whom God intended me to be. And when I met her in that circle, I met her in a very simplistic way. I said, okay, who am I? And I wanted to hear from out here, side of me, what was internally inside of me. But that still small voice within me said, I am great. My spirit spoke to my soul. She said, I am great. I am powerful. I am anointed. I am purposeful. I am intentional. I am beautiful. She started saying things to me that I had not said to myself. And I said, who are you? She said, I am the future. Come with me and let's go on a journey that's greater than anything you've ever seen. And I started to affirm myself through scriptures daily by acknowledging my greatness, acknowledging my power, acknowledging my anointing, acknowledging my strength, acknowledging my courage. I had to encourage myself. See, I was waiting on motivation, which comes from outside of myself, when I had to tap into revelation, which was on the inside of myself. And once I tapped into that revelation, I could then have impartation where I could give it away. You cannot transmit something you don't have. So here's what we're doing for each other today, my sisters and my brothers. We are empowering each other, not just with motivation, we're empowering each other with revelation, something that you can sit with yourself, let your spirit and your soul commune together and make that commitment to say yes to who you are, not who you once was. Most women are judging themselves based on what they know about themselves at the very moment. But there is a you that is greater than where you are right now. And if you give her the opportunity, she'll meet you right where you are and bring you into the revelation of more of yourself and your divine calling. I want to close with this. I heard a great man say this, and I love to close with this word. He said, people who make great accomplishments in their lives are those who can rise above their circumstances. When you tap into the revelation of who you are, you then rise above your circumstances and become abundantly full. Thank you guys for letting me share with you. Have a great day, sisters.